A very good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, depends on where you are watching from. Welcome to the newspaper review for the 18th of August 2023. My name is Moses, and this is Prime Media Studios. Um, Today, we'll be reviewing from Vanguard, then on and on and on till we get to the last but not the least newspaper outlet for this day. The top story on Vanguard this morning says, "Will invade Niger if diplomacy fails," says ECOWAS. Recall that over the past few weeks, we have been, taking um, news from other agencies, and then, it's been on and on and on Niger's, coup. Topics on Niger's coup. Nigeria have sent delegates to Niger Republic, and they have refused. ECOWAS has given an ultimatum and they have refused. And we have actually, had different international organizations intervene. They have also felt reluctant to actually reinstall democracy and reinstall the defunct president to power. Now, ECOWAS troop is saying will invade Niger if diplomacy fails. I think this is the last format they are going to use, this diplomacy format. If diplomacy fails, ECOWAS troop is saying that they will eventually invade Niger Republic. Do you think that is actually a good plan for a good decision for the organization? Let us take a tap into that topic, that headline for this morning. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, said yesterday in Accra, Ghana, that it will not hesitate to invade Niger Republic if all efforts to reverse the coup in the country fail. This came as the German government said it is in support of sanctions imposed on the military junta in the country by the European Union, that is EU. It will be recalled that ECOWAS heads of state and government had its second extraordinary summit in Abuja last week, activated its standing force should be junta in Niger refuse to restore power, ousted president of the country, Mohamed Bazoum. The threat came as defense chiefs of member states met in the Ghanaian capital to strategize on the next line of action on Niger and discuss details of the standby force. The meeting continues today. He listed past ECOWAS deployment in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and elsewhere as examples of readiness for military action. Musa rejected the accusation that ECOWAS is being manipulated by France or any other outside power. What they forget is that ECOWAS is a rules-based organization. We have our protocols, we have our norms, and we have already to protect them. We are already, rather, to protect them. That's why the head of state are saying if push comes to shove, we are going into Niger with our own contingent, own equipment, and our own resources to make sure we restore constitutional order. If other democracy-loving partners want to support us, they are welcome, he said. And that sits on the Niger coup. Actually, ECOWAS is actually saying that they would invade if diplomacy fails. Let us wait and see what comes out of that. Moving on Emefiele's case, the federal government showing signs of disobeying court orders, says George. Federal government showing signs of disobeying court orders, says George. Other than that, he says on subsidy removal, no instant solutions to Nigeria's problems, Tinubu says. He says no instant solution to Nigeria's problem. On the other side of the paper, you can see NIMET predicts 3-day cloudy, sunny weather conditions from Friday. NIMET predicts 3-day cloudy, sunny weather conditions from Friday. And also following that says why we can't breastfeed our babies. Bauchi, Taraba women lament. Why we can't breastfeed our babies. Bauchi and Taraba women lament. Drug war, bloodbath shakes Marseille as rival gangs shoot it out. Drug war bloodbath shakes Marseille as rival gangs shoot it out. NDLEA out intensify war against illicit substances in FCT. On NDLEA, the commander says, I'll intensify war against illicit substances in FCT. The last but not least says, Buni approves 667 million naira for payment of pension. Buni approves 667 million naira for payment of pension. And that is that on the Vanguard. Let us now move on to Channels Television this morning. The top story there says subsidy removal. Federal government approves 5 billion naira palliative for each state, and including the FCT. Federal government approves 5 billion naira palliative for each state, including the FCT. Recall that 500 billion naira loan was actually acquired, and also 500 billion naira was acquired from the savings from the fuel subsidy removal, and then plans have been ongoing for weeks on how to, share this money amongst the 12 million Nigerians that need it. Yesterday, we heard that 5 billion naira palliative has been approved to each state, including the FCT. And do you think that this money would actually be given to those who really need it, or it will just be, shared and embezzled like the other ones have been? Let us know at the comment section. You can also reach us on our numbers showing on the screen. You can drop your ideas. You can also, drop your ideas and comments on our Facebook and Instagram pages, Prime Media Studio, and to give us your ideas and what you think will happen to the 5 billion naira palliative that has been approved for each state. Let us move on. ECOWAS activates standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger. ECOWAS activates standby force to restore constitutional order in Niger Republic. Appointing Petroleum Minister of State from Niger Delta, not for Niger Delta, wrong. Signal, says IPAC. Appointing Petroleum Minister of State from Niger Delta is a wrong signal, says IPAC. Anambra government shuts orphanage allegedly trading babies for cash. Anambra government shuts orphanage allegedly trading babies for cash. Shatima chairs NEC meeting in Abuja, and also 36 military officers killed in Niger State, says DHQ, Defense Headquarters. 36 military officers killed in Niger State, says Defense Headquarters. Also, WHO, US health authorities tracking new COVID-19 variant. WHO, US health authorities tracking new COVID-19 variant. Trump proposes 2026 start date for election interference trial. Trump proposes 2026 start date for election interference trial. Lagos court okays withdrawal of firearm charge against Emefiele. Lagos court okays withdrawal of firearm charge against Emefiele. And that's that on Channels. Let us now move on to The Nation this morning. The top story on The Nation newspaper says states awash with 180 billion naira subsidy paying relief cash. States awash with 180 billion naira subsidy paying relief cash. Federal government 5 billion naira per state fund for immediate use to cushion high food, fertilizer prices. NEC okays transfer of World Bank's $800 million to the pool. Talks with Labour to go on. And that's it. ECOWAS activates standby force on that Niger issue. ECOWAS activates standby force. Emefiele charged with fraud, abuse of office, and others in Abuja. Emefiele charged with fraud, abuse of office, and other crimes in Abuja. Defense Headquarters, 3 officers and 33 soldiers died in Niger ambush. 3 officers and 33 soldiers died in Niger State ambush. NAF jet crash. And also on sports, Budapest 2023, Amuson cleared for World Championships. and that's a good one too. Amusan, she's been cleared of all charges. Reps panel frowns at lopsided employment in federal agencies. Reps panel frowns at lopsided employment in federal agencies. That's that about the nation. You want to get more on that, just visit their website or visit their physical outlets for more details. Let us move on to the Sun Nigeria. The cover page says on Niger coup, ECOWAS activates standby forces. We've seen that before on others. It said ECOWAS activates standby forces. On mining, Nigeria and others to harness vast natural resources for sustainable development. Nigeria and others to enhance vast natural resources for sustainable development. Entertainment sector, major contributor to the nation's GDP, says Oman Bala. The entertainment sector is a major contribution to the nation's GDP, says Oman Bala. On Nigeria's unity, Ohanaeze takes campaign to UK. Nigeria's unity, Ohanaeze takes campaign to UK. Also on palliative, federal government doles out 185 billion naira to FCT and 36 states. Federal government doles out 185 billion naira to FCT and 36 states. You can't fix Nigeria like instant coffee, says Tinubu. You can't fix Nigeria like instant coffee, says Tinubu. That's that about the Sun Nigeria. Let us now move on to Daily Trust. Top story on Daily Trust says Abuja housewife burst into tears as Barrow pusher escapes with the foodstuffs. Abuja housewife burst into tears as Barrow pusher escapes with her foodstuffs. We should actually be careful of these people. We often call them in Nigeria alabaru, all those who push barrow and who carries people's loads on their head. Like when you go to the market and the things are so much you cannot convey them to your car from inside the market, you have to contact alabaru in the Yoruba word, that's barrow pushers, to make sure that they help you convey your items to the car or to the commercial transport. But what I'm saying right here, it says the housewife was not monitoring these people and they had to, take her goods, stole it. It went at large with her goods. When you contract these people, you have to monitor them. You have to be behind and they be in front of you so that you monitor them and so that nothing will be missing out of your goods. It is well. The news flowing that says Nigeria complex but not too difficult to manage, says Tinubu. Nigeria is complex but not too difficult to manage, says Tinubu. Bribery allegation hits up Kano election petitions tribunal. Bribery allegation hits up Kano election petitions tribunal. And also, we are here to shape our tomorrow today, says Tinubu. We are here to shape our tomorrow today. Healthcare, WHO, NPHCDA to intervene in Katsina. WHO, NPHCDA to intervene in Katsina. Boko Haram commander behind ethnic clash, killing of 82 fighters, surrenders. Boko Haram commander behind ethnic clash, killing of 82 fighters, surrenders. Header cuts off farmer's hand in Plateau. Header cuts off farmer's hand in Plateau. On IBB's 82nd birthday, an outstanding officer, says Buhari. IBB is an outstanding officer at 82, says Buhari. And also news says bribery allegation hits up Kano election petitions tribunal. Bribery allegation hits up Kano election petitions tribunal. That is that about that. Now, the last but not the least, we have Punch. This morning on the top story, we can see that Punch has these Labour votes 180 billion naira palliatives, says governors will frustrate program. Labour votes 180 billion naira palliatives, says governors will frustrate program. Let us take a tip of that. It says Labour folds 180 billion naira palliative, says governors will frustrate program. The organized labor has knocked the federal government for releasing a 180 billion naira palliative package to states to cushion the impact of the fuel subsidy removal. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress insisted that the governors could not be trusted, noting that politicians and not the poor would benefit from the 5 billion naira largest given to each state government for disbursement to the citizens. The federal government on Thursday announced a 5 billion naira palliative for each state of the federation and 180 trucks of rice as part of measures to assuage the pains of the subsidy removal. The policy, which led to sharp and multiple increases in fuel pump price, has driven up the prices of goods and services, pushing millions of Nigerians into poverty and worsening the socio-economic situation in the country. The development also triggered nationwide protests by organized labor, which insisted on the repair of refineries as a precondition for the subsidy withdrawal. But announcing the release of the palliative at the end of the 135th National Economic Council meeting, presided over the Vice President Kashim Shettima in Abuja, the Borno State Governor Baba Gana Zulu disclosed that the 5 billion naira was to enable the state government to procure 100,000 bags of rice, 40,000 bags of maize, and fertilizers to cushion the effects of food shortage across the country. He added that considering the agency in meeting the need to mitigate the skyrocketing food prices across the country, the federal government had last week released 5 trucks of rice to each state of the federation. Shettima explained NEC met today and expressed serious concerns as regards increasing cost of food items in the country. And that is that on the newspaper review for the 18th of August 2023. Join us in the next hour for more breaking news. My name is Moses, and thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.